Well, good morning. I'm getting ready to glass in another stringer. Finally progress on this boat because laying all them layers across is all the same. So I haven't done much of that. But I am putting a structural putty in this morning under the second stringer, and I'll show it to you in a second. And I showed you that this is, this is great to mix it on. This is a pad of paper. It's made to mix Bondo on, or structural putty. And see, this pad, I think it had 100 sheets or something or other. It wasn't real expensive. And then after you mix it, you just tear the sheets off and throw it away as such. And then you're ready for more. So I just mixed up 3 batches on that one sheet of paper because it was just, it was a lot, one after another big old pile to get all it underneath of the stringer. And this uses a MEK. So you just mix it like you're mixing resin. And MEK is there. I got me a order in. I got my vinyl and my regular. Yeah, I got it on my hand somehow, of course. Wipe that off. Yeah. See, I'm stocked up now. I got me 3 more gallons of regular resin, another gallon of vinyl ester back there. So I'll be stocked up for a while. This true composites. Like I said, if you use my discount code, Mr. 65 CUDA, all one word, all caps, all one word, all caps. Put it in that box, and you get a little discount. But anyway, so there's the structural putty is really gooey, and you mix that up with MEK, and I find that these paddles here, which I used to use for Bondo all the time, they work great. I got one of them. I cut one in half, shaped it to make the fillet. And then I got another big, use full-size ones. I got a whole box of them here. Use these full-size ones to mix up the putty and stuff in. Or these work really great to spread out the resin under the glass to get the air out for the first shot before you start trying to roll it and before you start with the bubble buster and all that. So, and many pairs of gloves. And anyway, here's where we're at today. I got that stringer in. It is epoxied together. I think I showed that in another clip, whereas I drilled holes randomly on both boards, not in the same place, randomly. So that when I squeeze them together with the stainless steel screws, which I'm going to leave in there and just cut what's sticking out off, then go over it with the fiberglass. So I epoxied those 2 together, and then epoxied them. We'll go around here and see. Okay. Yeah. See, I overlapped it on the old stringer here and there. So now it's double the thickness that it was. Then it's structurally puttied down to the floor, and then I put fiberglass over top of that. I got a tab, 1708 tabs through there. Then I put more down this way, and so that's how that one is. Now I'm starting this one. Now I just put the putty on there. I just epoxied that in yesterday, and this morning I'm out here putting the structural putty on it. Let's see, I might have to wipe off some of them little edges right there. They'll stick up and not let the fiberglass lay down right. Then I'll tab in with the 1708 all up down on this one. Then I'll seal on top of them. I painted them with resin before I even started that. So I painted them with the resin, let them dry. Then I randomly drilled holes in them and put the epoxy between them and screwed them together and laminated them together as one board. And then I put them in here and epoxied them down some and at the transom and up there. Then that was yesterday, and then today I'm coming back, putting a structural putty all up and down through there. And I love this structural putty because it dries fast. I can go right over it now with the glass because it's all the same stuff. It's hardening right now. I'll have to start throwing 1708 down on top of it, and that'll start hardening. And it all gets along real well. The epoxy, I don't know. You know, I hate to even put them where they touch each other because they don't like each other, just for whatever reason. I seen on YouTube a guy, he laid some epoxy out, strips on a 1708, and then he waited, sprayed gel coat on it, waited, and the gel coat never hardened. It was just the next day. I'll jump in here, my favorite thing to do. Yeah, the next day you could write your name in the gel coat because it would not. Yeah. There we are. See my little level there. Come back over here. I got some of that goo on top of here. Hope I can get the goo on my level. There you are. We can see that. So these stringers match the stringers there and the stringers that used to be back there. And next I'll start on these big stringers to go to the knees. So I'll have two big ones that go on the knees. I'll put this back over here. Okay, so that's where we're at today. This stringer, I'm gonna start glassing that in. Then I'll have three more of these stringers. They're about 11, 12 inches tall here, so I'll overlap them also. It means I'll have to cut more of the rigging tubes and the foam back here so I can get a bite on the old one. But that's where we're at today. I've taken, I don't know if I told you, I took the board out of this one. I had a board under here to shape this gunnel. And then I had the mold. And you can see I'm starting to take some of the mold off. And man, it's pretty cool. I'll get out of here and show you. I'm just, let's say, I'm really happy with the way this molding's working. You know, I got it in here. About ready to take this off. After I get this stringer glassed in, I'll take more of this molding off. And the board is still under here to support this by these screws here. There's a couple of these in each end. I'll take that board out, then I can take this molding out. But I'll show you over here. Here's where I take some of the mold off this side. And this is like glass. There's just a few rough places. And it is. That molding just popped right off. And this is like glass. And up in there, went up in here and made my gunnel. I don't know if you can see that. And I'm taking it off on down through here. When I get more done, I'll take that off. So that's where the old nitro's at. Cut my boat in half. Crazy, man, everybody says. Told a bunch of people, they said, well, wasn't it easier to buy a longer boat? And I said, yeah. But anybody could do that. Challenge yourself here. See if you can do something. You guys at home, do it yourselfers. You can do this, I think. Now, I have to show you again about this. That is the sheets I had. They were for hurricane windows. They Velcroed in on the window frames. And that's what they used to pass. It doesn't pass anymore for hurricanes. But anyway, so I got a ton of this plastic here, right? So if you cut it, you see I cut it on the inside You cut it on the inside, or you cut it on the outside and bend it the other way. But this was my gunnel from the other side. And you can see if you cut it and then cut it, then it made, up in there and made a mold for my gunnel. See, and then it went down the side. And this here, you can see none of it stuck. It just popped right off. Anywhere I had a screw or something sticking through, I used packet tape and taped over it, like here. And the fiberglass came right off the packing tape, right off of this. As you can see, there's not a speck of the fiberglass on here. And this made the gunnel. I'm doing this one-handed, of course, like everybody. Yeah, let me get it. Yeah. So that made a gunnel, and then the shape of the hull down the side. So this stuff is great to work with. Make yourself a mold. You can make anything with this stuff. Anyway, so a little update on the old nitro. I just ordered more stuff last night. I see that structural putty is disappearing fast. And so I ordered some more of that. I think I'm getting kind of low on my 1708 here. I had a bunch, but got plenty of chop strand. But here, my tabbing. But I was getting a little low here. So I ordered some more of that. Ordered some more putty. I ordered some more, what was it? Oh, some more silica. This stuff here. This is really easy to mix in. I use the grindings from in there when I'm sanding, and I sweep it up. I use that to make peanut butter into the fiberglass. And I tried this in the epoxy, and this works real well to stir it in, and it'll work well. So thank God this is easier than using because I'm out of the milled fiberglass that I bought. So I started using the grindings from it, and that worked. But I ordered a whole gallon of this instead of a quart, because it's just dust. It's white dust. Looks like Coke or something. I don't know. But there we are. So that's where we're at today. I think that's all that's new. I'm about to run out of my sanding pads. Yeah, get this. So I ordered some more of these on Amazon, and they sent me mosquito coils. Now, I have no idea what sanding pads and mosquito coils have to do with each other, but I got a hold of them. They're going to send me some more out. So it's a, fulfillment issue, they called it. So anyway, these go pretty fast with the laminating resin. It stays a little tacky, so it gums these pads up pretty fast. So that's a bummer, but it beats having a real shiny resin that you have to sand anyway before you can go over it. So the laminating resin and the laminating vinyl ester, they all stay a little tacky waiting for the next coat. So I'm just laying it to it. So I'll get back with you guys again when I have something. Maybe this other, if I get this other stringer done, I'll get that done today. I'm going to start on it in a minute and get the 1708 laid around, get the tabbing going, get it tabbed up to the transom in the back, and paint it over some more with the resin. I am waterproofing this to hell and back. I am not having any water in the bottom of this boat. All the water is going to go in. That's going to be the bilge. That's going to be the only place water is in this boat. On the floor, it'll drain out the scuppers, or if it comes in the holes I'll leave here, it can go down in here, and the bilge pump can pump it out. I'll have my live well pumps in there, and the drains are down there for when I ramp it, I can pull the drains. All the water, in my mind, this is how it's going to go. That's the only place in this boat where water's going to be. I'm going to funnel it to there. There's not going to be any water up through here. Everywhere where a screw goes through, let's see, like See, this tower was put on here afterwards, so they just screwed it in through the plywood. And I'm sure water leaked through those holes. So I am going to reinforce under those holes with more plywood down here and caulk them full. Probably screw the screw in, pull it out, caulk it, put the screw back in, plus double the thickness underneath of it. Same thing with here. Then my leaning tower, it was here where I got all my tools laying. The leaning stand was right here, and it had about a dozen screws in it. And they all went through just the plain floor, just like that. And water could go through there. So I'm gonna fix that too. I'm gonna reinforce all that area so it's thicker, and then I'm gonna caulk it or put some fiberglass resin down in the holes. Everywhere anything goes through this floor, I'm going to glass it, reinforce it, stop it up. Like back there in that corner, there was a hole between that outside compartment and the inside. You see, I've fiberglassed it up. So nothing on that side getting down in here. Same thing's going to happen here, back in this corner here. I'm going to caulk that all, not caulk, I'm fiberglass it, fill it. I think I got epoxy in it already. So this whole section here is going to be its own section. Every section is going to be its own airspace. Think submarine. But anyway, that's where we're at. I'm kind of excited about getting some stringers in here, and this thing's really starting to stiffen up. I took the engine puller off the back, was holding the transom up, took some of the support boards off that side there. And once I get this one done, I'll probably take some more of these boards off and show you how well it worked on this, hopefully. You never know till you pull it off what it looks like. So everybody's sitting around, they pull the mold off, say, well, what's it look like? So I believe that's it for the time being. Thank you guys. Like and subscribe. That helps my channel out. And don't forget to use your discount code for True Composites. They're sponsoring my channel. And use your discount code and get you a little % off. Maybe you'll get a better % here as we go on. So, thanks a lot. Okay, this morning, I'm out here gonna take some more of the mold off. I mean, I've got the 2 stringers in real nice. Tabbed, bonded, fiberglassed over. Every time I get in here with some fiberglass to lay this other fiberglass mat up, like I put the 2408, I think it's called, really cross-weaved heavy mat, the heaviest mat I got. I put all across there and over on the other side and lapped it up on the stringers also, beside the 1708 that's already lapped up, tabbed up, they call it, tabbed up on there. I have this side 1708 tabbed up on there, and put many coats, chop strand and then 1708, chop strand 1708, and then more 1708 and more of that 2408, I think it's called. Of course, the stuff I bought it a while back, and I don't have the package, so I don't remember what it was called. And you can see there's the old stringers. I don't know if you can see that. Those are level. And then when I get over here, I put this over here. And we can see that one level. And that one is too. So we got everything level back in here. Side to side and this way. So that's good. Now I'm getting ready to pull off some mold on this side. I was just taking out some of the screws, and then up here I had this board here that was up in here against this plastic to make this gunnel shape here. So So now this is all good enough to take the board out. I'm trying to pry this out. You'll get to see it do it. Whoa. Okay. It came out. Yeah. I think I had some fiberglass got through on it somewhere. I don't know. And I'm gonna have lots of little extra boards here after I take all this off, because I just had to cut them up and make these short pieces. Let's see. And this here, this rub rail, I'm hoping I can put it on here, take the heat gun, straighten it out, put it back down there, and that'll be the edge of this here, like that. So much for that for the moment. And then, of course, everybody always wants to know, what does it look like under the mold? And let's see, get a couple more screws out of here. Like I said, told you guys I'd show you everything. So if this looks like dog doo when I take it off, there we are. We can say that. All right, I don't know. Wow. Oh, there we are. All right, you're seeing it live. Wow, look at that. That is beautiful. Man, oh man. And I'm telling you, if you ever get a chance to work with this stuff, I wanted to do a video on molds, but wherever I had to screw in, maybe that's why that board wouldn't come out. I had a couple little screws in it, trying to hold this down, make it keep the shape. But you seen it. Fiberglass just came off this like it was Teflon. That is fantastic. As you can see here, I had that board. Yep, those two screws were in that board. That's why it's hard to pull out. But you cut this stuff and bend it any way you want, either way. So here I had it that way, and then the boat shaped different right here, and it went down like that. So it was a shape like that. And down here the boat had a line. So I cut it there, pushed it out with a board, and made that body line to the side of the boat. So this mold stuff, man, that is the greatest thing in the world to use. I don't know, man. Anyway, so what does it look like? Well, this feels like glass. How's it look up under there? Looks good. I don't know if you can see it. I'll try not to hold it too close. The old nitro is... Let's get these lighters off here and fair out this whole side. This is, man, this is great. I'll be grinding down through here. Do a little overwork on that. Wow. Well, that looks as strong as that. Yeah, that hurts. All right, I can't test it any more than that. Wow. So, the thing that everybody wants to know is, what's it look like underneath the mold whenever I take everything off? And so here we have some more of it. And, it'd be fun. I'll have to get this thing off the trailer to work the bottom of it. Let's see, I got one more board I can take off easily. But this stuff, it's just like the outside of that plastic. It is smooth as glass all across here. And I'll just grind it down fill it in, fill up my little screw holes. Like I said, they don't go all the way through. They were cut off on the inside of the boat, and the fiberglass there goes out. So now I only have the holes halfway through. I'll grind that out a little bit, patch that when I patch this, and get, so that'll be fine. Oh man, I'm excited. That is, this is as strong as the rest of the boat. Okay, well, I had to give you a little update. A little live, taking the boards off and the mold off and see what it looks like. And so you've seen it. I didn't make anything up. And I love the comments. You guys keep commenting and subscribe and like this, because it's doing great on YouTube and people love it and they comment. I comment back. I try to read all of them. I get some really good ones. Like one guy says, well, you sitting there looks like you could have a new thing of fishing out the side of the boat with your feet in the water. I said, that's an ideal. He said, you should put a door there. I said, oh, okay. Well, send me a door and I'll put a door right there. How's that? It would be good. You know, a lot of new boats come with doors on the side. Now, I have no idea where the water level is going to be on this since I added 2 feet to it. But, hey, a door right there, that'd be good. I could like that. And, you know, all the way back to ping pong balls, that was hilarious. I've had all kinds of good. I've got entertainment out of this. I hope you guys get entertainment out of this. And I hope you guys learn some things to do or not do. Yeah, I'm going to start on these main stringers here next to go back to here. And I'll tab in probably some more back here to tab the end of that stringer into the transom. Over there, there's the factory stringer I used. It was good, and so I might even put some tabbing on that just for the heck of it, just because I like to overdo it. And next I'm gonna have to go to Home Depot or somewhere and get some plumbing. I was looking at the 4-inch plumbing fittings and stuff today. You know, that one there will come straight back out on the outside there and come up through the floor. And that's be all my wiring going to the motor and the jack plate and the batteries and all that. And this one here, this is from the live well. So all this will go right into my bilge area right there. And that has the bilge pump feed and the bilge pump drain. I mean the live well pump and the live well drain and the live well and the bilge pump wiring and the wiring for the other pump there. So we'll have just stuff that goes into the bilge will come through that pipe there. So I'm gonna like 45 it through and into that area. Then I'm gonna seal it up so nothing can get back that way. Everything's gonna be sealed up. Everything in that's gonna be the water box. Nothing's getting out of that water box. Water can get in. The only way it's coming out is the drain plugs are there, the bilge pump's there. One of the two is gonna get it. I'm gonna still keep the scuppers on the floor. There's one there, one on the other side, so any water lands in the boat can drain out the scuppers there. Or I'll probably have an opening in the water box bilge. So too much water gets in there, it can just run down into the bilge, and the bilge pump can get it too. So I'll have that way. And it's moving right along. Okay, well, that's an update for now.